Alright, Big Strunks, how you guys doing today? So, I said I would make a video on the new split that I was doing, so this is that video. So, I'll have to edit this, so I'm having to kind of narrate, thinking about what I'm going to do on the edit. So, anyway, so here we go. As you can see, the split is a 5-day split. Day 1 is chest, triceps, and shoulders. Day 2 is back and biceps. Day 3 is legs. And then day 4 is chest, back, shoulders, and arms. So upper torso. And then day 5 is legs again. So let's go to, we'll just go through each workout, kind of line it out. And my thought is I'll edit in the actual pictures, and then you guys will be able to see where I got this. Anyways, you can go check out that channel as well. It's called Health Leads, all one word, Health Leads, lowercase. But you'll see that anyway. So for the chest workout, it starts out with dumbbell chest press. Now keep in mind, some of these I will be changing in the gym because, for example, a lot of the dumbbell chest press, I don't know that I can do it right now with the way my shoulder is. I've been doing a lot of machine pressing, especially the chest press where I can control it with my feet. You know, I don't know if you're familiar with that, but anyways. So some of these things like dumbbell chest press, I might try it and see how my shoulder's feeling. I've been doing rehab work with my shoulder while I'm at work with bands and stuff. But anyways, but this is how the program is written. I'm going to try to stay as close to the actual program as I can for probably 4 weeks. And then I'll start substituting in other exercises that do the same move. So dumbbell chest press could become maybe a bench press once I can bench press again, or a machine chest press, or like the hammer strength chest press. But anyways, I digest. Anyway, so dumbbell chest press, 3 sets of 8 to 10. So this is going to be one of those hypertrophy type workouts, I guess, where everything's 8 to 10. I might do 12 or 15 because of the shoulder trouble. I keep the weight down, up the reps. As long as I'm getting a good pump and a good burn, call it good enough. Second exercise is machine shoulder press. Again, 3 sets of 8 to 10 reps. And then that's pretty much all I do is machine shoulder press. I don't do dumbbell shoulder press. I don't do too much overhead pressing anymore. I never did barbell strict overhead press or even push press or whatever. There's just something about having my hands stuck that just really messes with my shoulders. Even before I was injured, really messed with my shoulders overhead press. If you like them, more power to you, go for it. But I do prefer the machine press, especially if I can get a machine that's unilateral, where each hand is doing its own work, but it's still not having to stabilize, I guess. Dumbbell flies, 3 sets of 8 to 10 would be the third exercise. And again, I'll probably do this on pec deck because dumbbell flies, just dumbbells. I tried incline dumbbell flies the other day, and that motion, right there. Yeah, even just sitting here doing it, I can feel it. Basically, anything that pushes the front of that shoulder out, right? So even that bench press motion, once I get to that extended position, that's where I feel it. So if there's any physical therapists out there, I don't know, what do you think? I don't feel it on the can test, what they call it, empty can test. But anyway, fourth exercise, lateral raises, 3 sets of 8 to 10. Then overhead cable tricep extensions. I made a video about that not too long ago. That's a good one. That probably won't change. Cable tricep pushdowns. That's probably one I need to go over too, because a lot of people because you have tricep pushdowns and then you have tricep extensions. And I think a lot of people get those mixed up. So maybe that's a good one to go over and kind of show the differences. And then leg raises, get a little abs in there at the end. That's the first workout. Oh shit. Am I going crazy? Where's the... Oh, there it is. So, second workout will be the pull. So it goes push, pull, legs. Second workout, lat pull down. And again, I'm just going to start with a regular lat pull down, and then I'll go neutral grip, whatever that is, that pronated grip, that palm in grip. Go extra wide, just kind of mix in different lat pull downs as I'm going through. Chest supported row. The picture it has here is like on a bench with dumbbell chest supported row. Those are fine. I tend to prefer like a machine chest supported row because I can move my butt back and forth on the seat and kind of change the angle of attack. Plus you can change the seat up and down. I just think there's more variations you can do on the machine chest supported row. Seated cable row. Again, seated cable row is a good one because you can get different bars. You can go wide, narrow. There's that one little, And something to try with that little grip where you're doing a chest supported row really inside here is turn it over, right? And go from this to this and do that row that way. That's a good one too. Again, these are all 3 sets of 8 to 10, so I'm going to stop saying that. Reverse pec deck. That's another good one too. Maybe I should go over because when you're doing reverse pec deck, if you're doing the whole motion, you can open up your back and really get wide, right? Whereas if you're just trying to hit the rear delts, it's kind of it's just a different range of motion, right? You're more in a more specific range of motion. Then Smith machine shrugs, 3 sets of 8 to 10. Smith machine shrugs I like because you can do a regular shrug, and depending on if you have the Smith machine that goes straight up and down or has an angle to it, if there's an angle to it, I will shrug where I'm standing here and pulling back that way. So I'm pulling to myself. So I'll do a regular shrug, or if you can treat it like what's it called? Like the upper part of a deadlift, I forget. Like you're doing just getting to that hang position from the deadlift. I'll come down and do like a slight, like maybe an eighth of a squat, and then come back up. It's almost like the beginning of an Olympic lift. Like if you're going to do a clean and jerk, right? But you're just coming to the shrug position. I really like that one too. If you're going to do it on a Smith machine. Then hammer curls. So this is back and by. So get the hammer curls in there. And then preacher curls. I don't like doing curls back to back. So I've already done this workout. I've already done the chest. I've already done the push, the pull. Now I've got to do the third workout, the legs. I'll do that today. I switch up some of these orders, right? So might do the hammer curl, then go do shrugs, and then come back for the preacher curl. Or maybe even do hammer curls, then do the reverse pec deck, then the Smith machine, and then come back for preacher curls. I know you're exercising a different part of the bicep, but it's also your grip, similar grip and that sort of thing. So I just don't like doing different curls back to back. You can do whatever you want. Third workout's the first leg workout. So they've got leg press, 3 sets of 8 to 10. And again, I guess leg press, it's up to you where you switch up that foot position on the footboard. Also, most gyms are going to have a couple of different leg presses. Like off the top of my head, my gym has 5. They've got 3 where you're kind of sitting in an upright position. And the difference in those machines is the angle of attack. The angle that you're sitting on, and then also the angle of the footboard. And so each one of those will actually attack your legs a little bit different. And then they have, like my gym has 2 of the sort of laying down leg presses. One is your normal 45 degree, just regular leg press. The other one's the hammer strength. What's it called? I think it's called like a pendulum leg press, where you're still in that seated position, but the weight doesn't travel in a straight line. It travels on an arc or on some kind of radius like that. That particular type of machine is really good for glutes and hamstrings, the back of your legs, right? Because of that motion, I guess. For me, it's kind of uncomfortable. I really need to get used to it. But one thing I did find is it's really good for toe raises. Who knew? So second exercise is a seated leg curl. And I do prefer the seated leg curl over any of the lying down, like face down leg curls. Because I just feel like I'm able to kind of just sit myself into the chair and really concentrate on what my legs are doing. But I mix in the other ones too just for variety. Because most of those other lying down leg curls, again, they normally have a break in the middle of the bench, and you'll find that break is more or less exaggerated. So the angle of attack, say if your legs are over here, right, and you're curling this way, that different angle of attack on the machine is going to hit your hamstrings a little bit different. So even though I like the sitting leg curl the best, I still do those other ones just for that little bit different angle of attack and different feel on the hamstrings. All right, third exercise, dumbbell Bulgarian split squat. Hate it. It's a good exercise. I'm gonna have to get used to it. It's on the program, so I'll do it. I just haven't done it much, so it's probably gonna be a weak spot in the training, which is good. Should be attacking your weak spots. The fourth exercise, leg extensions. Again, most gyms will have a couple different leg extensions. This is one of the few that I have one machine that I like and I stick to it just because the other ones I feel pain in my knees. When it comes to joints, train through the pain. Man, to me that refers to like that burn in the muscle and that sort of thing. If you feel actual pain when you're doing something, stop doing it. So this is one of the few exceptions, like where me personally, if I use the other machines, the way I guess that angle of attack is, it's so isolated on the knee that I just have pain in my knee, and to me that's not good. You don't want to damage your joints. Those, your muscles can recover, tendons can recover, your joints, yeah, they can recover, I guess, with a lot of time, but if you start damaging your joints, not so good. So, leg extensions, 3 sets, 8 to 10. Machine hip adductors, and then machine hip abductors. Most of those in gyms, they have them right in a row, and you always find some lady on there that won't move because she stays over there for 45 minutes hitting 5 different angles on the adductors. So anyway, so when they're open, there you go, adductors and abductors. Basically that's the opening of your legs and the closing of your legs. So I forget which is which. Adductors, I believe, is the inside of your thighs, closing the legs. Trying to look at the little cheat sheet here. Abductors is really going to hit your glutes, opening the leg. And then it finishes off the workout with calf raises. Calf raises, it can seem boring, and they have the little machine where you sit down and do the calf raises. That's okay. I really find one thing I picked up from Jay Cutler is that he does a toe raise where he adds a bounce to it. And so, say like this is his starting position, he'll come down, up, half down, up. And that's 1 rep. So he'll be, right, and then really that little bounce in the middle, I guess, just gets a little bit more tension. I find that works really well. And then another thing that works really well for me is I'll just find a wall somewhere and I'll put a 45 plate down or whatever kind of plate, and I do single leg calf raises. And I saw this thing somewhere, it's a good indicator of circulation also. If you can do 25 reps of single leg calf raises with no problem, I mean, you'll feel a burn or whatever, but if you can get through at least 25, no problem, it's an indicator of good circulation in your legs. And I still can, so all right, circulation. So workout number 4, this is the upper complete torso back and chest workout. Starts out with incline dumbbell press. Again, I might switch that over for a machine incline press just for the sake of my crappy shoulders. And then it has a pec deck, so flies. Pec deck is something that I might have in all the workouts just because dumbbell flies. Pec deck, I can really focus and keep it right on my chest, right? And then I can really feel where it starts to transfer over to that shoulder. And then I can stop just short of that and just keep everything on my chest. Dumbbells, it's probably me not being able to do it right, but I have a hard time isolating my chest. One thing you can try, and now that I think about it, maybe I'll put this in there too for any of the dumbbell fly work, Um, lay down on the floor. Like most places have like a little AstroTurf corner that people use, or whatever. You can lay down on the floor, and so you're on the floor, and so as you go back, your upper arm can only go as far as the floor, right? And so now that I think about it, I probably need to try that just to start getting back into some dumbbell work. Um, so, anyways, you could try that. For me, I'll probably start out with a pec deck and then start working in some floor flies. Third exercise. So we got incline dumbbell press, pec deck. That's 2 front exercises. Then it goes to lat pull down. So again, whatever version you did on Tuesday on that second workout, do a different one on Thursday, right? So if you did just regular lat pull downs, on this one do a neutral grip or that palm in grip. Lateral raises. So again, there's different lateral raises. So on Monday, if you did like just the normal lateral raise, right? Maybe on this workout, you could do like, what are they called? Are they called butterfly or panda lateral raises? But basically it's the one where it's a lateral raise and you kind of go ahead and come up with the arm. I don't know what it is. I look weird on the camera here. Maybe it's because I'm not centered. Anyway, but you kind of open your hands at the top. Oh, it's because the camera's off center. That's why. I feel like this arm just looks weird. Anyway. But anyways, we're working a little bit different lateral raise. Maybe get a little bit more hitting the traps while you're working the lats too. Next exercise, Smith machine row. So hitting the back again. I haven't tried the Smith machine row very much. I'm gonna try it because I normally like barbell row. And I do it pretty strict too with the back almost flat. And I have a technique for that. Maybe I should make a video on that. Because basically I go with a kind of a knees close together stance. So I can almost use my thighs and my abdomen to brace my back. So I can keep it really strict and keep that back kind of flat without hurting my back. Smith machine row. And then overhead tricep extensions. Trying to see, they have... Like, I like doing overhead tricep extensions. They don't say cable here, so I'm guessing dumbbell. But the guy's holding the dumbbell weird. Like, I usually like to grab it, something like that. And because I don't know, my brain can't handle it, halfway through a set, I'll switch. I don't know if it makes any difference, but I'll have it like that. And then there's also a technique to get the weight up. Because you'll eventually get to some weight. Like... On this exercise, I might use an 85 to 100 pound dumbbell. Well, getting that dumbbell from here to here, there's a technique to it. And we can go over that, and then Bayesian cable curls. If I remember right, Bayesian cable curls, it's kind of like if you were doing an incline, if you're on an incline bench and you're doing curls off that incline bench, Bayesian cable curl is a similar movement. But obviously you're standing and you're using a cable. And I like cable curls because cable curls keep a constant tension through the whole motion. Like if you're using a bar, right? Oh, look at my shoes. If you're using a bar or a dumbbell, you hit some part of the range of motion that, okay, I don't have any stress here, right? And then I don't have any stress here. Whereas with a cable, because it's pulling weight, even up here, there's still something pulling the weight. So you have tension all the way through that range of motion. So that's the upper workout. And then the second lower workout starts with lying leg curls. So we did seated leg curls in the first leg workout. Lying leg curls, which is a good idea. Smith machine squat, I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm going to change that up. I'll do a different leg press, or hack squats will be a good one because you can do regular hack squats, front hack squats. I just posted a video of those. Instead of Smith machine squats, because the Smith machine squat, you're trapped in that line of motion, that very linear motion. For example, if you're doing a regular dumbbell squat, if you want to go by the starting strength method or some of the methods that get taught, say like say like that's your body, right? You got your torso, you got your thighs, you got your shins or your calves, right? As you squat and you're facing this way. So as you squat, these three should kind of work together, right? To squat. I don't know if that makes any sense. But the bar, in turn, if you execute it right, the bar should basically travel in a straight path up and down while your body is doing all the bending. Hope that makes sense. If not, look up Starting Strength, Mark Ripito. He can be controversial, but it's a place to start if you haven't done any barbell lifts. And he breaks things down in a very methodical ABC way to give you a starting point, and then you can change it up depending on what's comfortable for you. But anyway, so keeping in mind that the bar on a squat travels straight up and down, right? Ideally, on a Smith machine, you're kind of in this weird, if you have an angled one, and even though it should travel straight up and down, it never does because everybody's different, right? A Smith machine traps your whole body traveling in a very straight, perfect line, and for me, it's just not comfortable. It's a long way of saying I just don't like it. So I'll probably do hack squats on that, or a different leg press than I did on the other leg workout. There you go. Romanian deadlift. I like Romanian deadlifts. I don't like regular deadlifts. I don't know I just don't like them. But Romanian deadlifts I like. So don't confuse Romanian deadlift with straight leg deadlift. It's a little bit different movement. But Romanian deadlifts are basically a deadlift that doesn't quite touch the floor. Stop at the bottom without touching the floor, come back up. Whereas a straight leg deadlift is kind of more what it sounds. You're hinging more at the hip, right? Both really good exercises, a little bit different. I like either one of those better than regular deadlifts. Next exercise, leg extensions. So again, if it's comfortable, if you don't feel pain, do something different than you did the last workout. Calf raises again. So if you did the sit down machine on Wednesday, on this one, maybe do single leg calf raises by the wall on Friday, And then it finishes up with cable crunch. Cable crunch. And it has, that's weird, because it has, it's marking, the lower pecs and the upper abs. I'll have to look that up. I'm not quite sure what they mean. But I know, at my gym, they have a couple different machines where you can kind of sit in and you'll crunch, right? Maybe it's something like that. Or maybe it's where you just actually get the cable and you're on your knees and you'll do that crunch thing I see people doing. But it's good. It's got some abs mixed in. And that is the whole routine. So 5 days straight might be a bit much. Maybe I put a rest day in there somewhere. I don't like the fact that they have push-pull legs, torso legs. So you have 2 leg workouts within 3 days. So I might do something like push legs, pull, upper, but then, see, that's screwy. That's screwy. I don't know. I've got to think about that. Maybe you go push-pull legs, rest day, upper, lower. That way you have an extra day to recover, and you're not trying to stack 2 leg workouts within 3 days of each other. Because if you're really going in and hitting legs, I need a couple of days to recover. And on my old routine, I would go upper, rest, lower, rest, upper, rest, lower. So between the 2 leg workouts, there's 3 days that I don't hit legs. So I'll have to think about that. But I think I'll probably add a rest day. Push-pull legs, rest, upper, lower, I think. So anyway, so that's the routine. Now I've got to try to edit this thing so that you can actually see. I want to put the actual site so you can see where I got it from and hit up their site if you want to. But anyways, there's the workout routine I'll be working on. I already started it Monday. I worked out Monday, Tuesday. Didn't sleep very well Tuesday night, so I rested Wednesday. Today's Thursday. I'll hit that first leg workout and roll right into the weekend, and we'll see how it goes. So if you want to follow along, that's where I am. That's what I'll be doing. We can compare notes or whatever you want to do. Hit me up. So, but with that being said, you guys stay strong. We'll see you next time. Keep training. Every day, it's an everyday thing. It's a lifestyle. Oh, and the thought of the day. You cannot outwork a bad diet. So, no matter how much you work out, you got to control the diet. So. Anyways, you guys stay strong. We'll see you next time.